Hey guys, welcome back. I hope that some of you guys are coming back again for the second time, but if this is your first time, welcome. Super excited. We're gonna do some chicken tonight, some Greek chicken, and some easy sides. So hopefully you had your ingredient list or have your ingredient list, you've got some things prepped, and you're ready to get started. I'm gonna wait just a couple of minutes. It's almost 5 o'clock. I'll give it maybe 2 after or so, and then we'll go ahead and start, because if your kids are like my kids, they get hangry around 5:30. So this is even pushing it. I'm usually already cooking halfway there by now, but not everyone can do that. We've got jobs, we're busy. I actually just ran home from a friend's house. We were hanging out, the kids were playing, and I lost track of time, and so I'm not even that prepared. But it's good because you don't have to be. It's a super easy recipe. So to start, I wanted to just talk a little bit about wine. Not that I'm a professional. I mean, I drink a lot of it, but I don't know a ton. Luckily, my brother-in-law is a sommelier. So he came to our house last Christmas on my birthday and did a little sommelier presentation for us, which was so fun, because if you know me, cheese, wine, food, the whole thing, that's my jam. That's what I love. So to learn something and to learn a little more about wine was like really fun and exciting. And we've talked about maybe having him on here at some point, because he knows way more than I could tell you. But I was at Trader Joe's today getting all the stuff that I needed, and I was trying to pick out a Chardonnay, and I was, hey bud, you gonna say hi?
Hi.
Okay. So I was trying to pick out a Chardonnay, and I was trying to remember all the things that my brother-in-law Andy told us or taught us about wine, and how to read a label, and when to know when something is worth it, and when to know what words actually mean something and what words are just kind of for fluff. So I found these 2 Chardonnays, and this is a Trader Joe's Platinum Reserve. So everyone's heard of 2 Buck Chuck by now. Trader Joe's has wine that is $2.99, and it's been called, 2 Buck Chuck since I can remember. Just disclaimer, I want to say that I am a long time Trader Joe's customer. I've been going there since I lived in Arizona. I'm trying to think if Arizona had one at the time. Anyway, long time, at least since California. I lived in LA for 5 years, and that was where I shopped. I love it. It's cheap, it's delicious, they always come out with new things, and they give samples. I mean, so I feel like I've tried everything in the entire store, because they're always sampling stuff, and I like knowing if it's good before I buy it, because that's the only way I will try new things. I'm not a big, pick up something and throw it in my freezer and hope that I at some point feel like making it. No, I've got to know that it's good before I buy it. So anyway, love Trader Joe's. Everyone probably knows that by now, especially if you're following my social media, because I shop there a lot. I also shop at Save A Lot, because they have great prices, and we have a great one here in Tulsa. So those are my 2. Those are my go-to. Other than that, I hit Reese's maybe once every couple months if I have to, but Trader Joe's, Save A Lot's all I do. So there's that. So now that we have wine in our grocery stores, which is so nice and convenient, we have to choose, right? There's all these wines, there's all these prices. How do you know? Personally, I like to go for the cheaper, because I don't know that I'm sophisticated enough to really appreciate the more expensive. Now, if it's a special occasion, that's totally different. But if I'm just going to have a glass of wine with dinner, or, splash some wine into like a pasta. Yes, sir. Can we come back to it? Can I finish saying this? Sorry. It's very open communication here. Bring your kids in, whatever. So anyhow, I wanted to get a Chardonnay. I didn't know what kind. So I just sort of start with a price point. I'm totally comfortable paying $8. $2.99, I get a little iffy, because I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Is it gonna be good? Am I gonna get a headache? Like, what's going on? Well, So I like to stay in that $8 range at Trader Joe's. If I'm at a Reese's or something, I go up to like the 10, 12 because I don't necessarily trust, and that might be bad. I could be totally wrong, but I know that Trader Joe's has good stuff, and I know the fact that they have private label helps their prices. So I like to stay around $8. This Trader Joe's Platinum Reserve Chardonnay was $8.99. This was right about that, $9 or so. Hey mom, my mom's on here. Hey mom. And then I got this other rebuttal for about the same price. So my point is, number one, this is a twist off, so that's always exciting. But the fact that this is a Trader Joe's Platinum Reserve, so what does that mean? Platinum Reserve very likely means nothing, but the fact that it says Chardonnay and Napa Valley under the word Chardonnay means that a certain percentage of this wine must come from that region, which in this case is Napa Valley. So, very important to know if you're thinking about which wine to choose. This is a rebuttal, that's just the name. It's a Chardonnay from California. So these grapes from this wine were sourced from anywhere in California. There was no specific region. So if you know about wines and if you know about climate and how to grow wines or how to grow grapes for wines, a lot of experts really like Napa Valley. They like Sonoma Valley, Napa Valley, that whole, Central California region. Whereas with this one, you don't really know where they come from. They could come from all over the state. They could be the cheapest. No one knows. Anyhow, so this is going to be a little more worth your money and probably possibly a little better because it really is from Napa Valley. So if Andy's watching this, I probably totally butchered that lesson, but that's what I remember from it. And that was what was important today at Trader Joe's was which do I choose? I decided to try both. Why? Because I like the label. Isn't that a cool label? So I'm just as guilty as anyone else who walks into a library and chooses a book by its cover because it's pretty. Well, I thought it was cool. So anyway, I'm super guilty of the same stuff. But it's probably gonna be it, so we're gonna try them. So I already love this one because it's twist off, obviously. It's not a good one. Okay. And this,
Pour me one?
is here. Yes, of course. I'm pouring two here. And we're gonna taste. We're gonna do a little taste. So I've got my Pampered Chef wine opener. I'm plugging this for sure because it is the best I've ever tried. Would not say that if it wasn't. It stays charged for about 30 days, which is great. I actually don't remember the last time I charged it, so let's hope it works today. But on the base, it comes with a little, foil cutter, if you will. So it sits on here very nicely, and then the foil cutter is right on it. So you just reach for it every time, don't have to worry about it. And you just turn, pop off the foil, which you can also do with a knife, but safer, obviously. And then it's a 2-button. So hold your wine bottle in place because it's very powerful, and just push down on the down button, and it will just drill right into the cork. Just keep pushing down. It just takes it right out. So it's very, very easy. And then the other button is just to release the cork. So there's not an easier wine opener. There's just not. So, great holiday gift, just saying. What goes along with that is our wine aerator, which I saw that I think is now in the dishwasher, but that's okay. We had a watch party last night, a election watch party last night. So our wine things got used. So my set boy is telling me that it's in the drawer, which he was right. The set boy washed it. That's very important. Yeah, he knows his job, for sure. So anyway, very nice wine aerator. Do you need to aerate white wine? I don't know. Probably not. Are we going to? Yeah? You know why? Because I like it and I have it. And it comes as a set. The wine opener and the wine pourer / aerator. Oh, I forgot. I'm just having a taste of this one. Okay, taste tester, come here. Let's see what we think of this one. So this is the Trader Joe's Platinum Reserve Chardonnay. Smells good. So why did I choose Chardonnay for tonight?
I don't know. This is hard to tell the difference. I've already had 10 glasses of wine today.
He's kidding.
They all run together.
I chose Chardonnay because white meat, chicken.
That's good. That's really good.
It's a little sweet, a little
Is that
buttery.
the expensive one?
No. They're about the same price, but this one is a Trader Joe's brand as opposed to
Yeah.
like an official winery.
That's better than the box wine we usually drink.
Oh, he's kidding. You're gonna confuse people. So, it was a little sweet, little buttery, very nice. I happen to like really buttery Chardonnays, Kendall Jackson, all that. But these are much cheaper, so. Now for number 2.
You drank that whole glass already?
No, I only poured myself a sip, and then I tossed.
Okay.
We have 2 bottles. There's no way this is. And the good thing about white wine is you don't have to drink this tonight. You can have a glass, put it back in the fridge, come back to it tomorrow, the next day, basically
I
until,
hear there's
until it's too
a special guest
alcoholic.
en route to have a drink as you're cooking.
We have a special guest coming?
That's what I hear. I don't know how long the special guest is going to be here because he's
We have a special guest coming.
come by. He's coming by.
This is a huge treat. I have no idea who it is. I'm a little scared, but I'm gonna roll with it because the show must go on. That's show business, right? Okay, so immediately I prefer the reserve. Isn't that weird? Immediately, I think this is better. This is good, but I'm gonna save that one for later. I think I don't typically like sweet wines, but I think I like the sweetness and the more butteriness, which is, I believe, more classic to a Chardonnay grape. Oh, I hope you're not watching, Andy. I'm gonna find out for sure, and we're gonna talk more about this in future shows. We'll get down and dirty on some wine at some point for sure, but I do need to do a little more research with Andy before I start educating other people. I'm just taking you through what goes through my head at this moment. So yeah, definitely prefer this Trader Joe's Platinum Reserve. So if you're ever scared of private label wines, I get it, but there you go. We just taste tested it and I prefer it. The 2 Buck Chuck I think is also very good. I've had most of that. Again, I'm not a huge, I'm not a wine critic, so I don't really, but I do drink a lot of it and that counts. And it counts if you do too. So, in any case, we're gonna get to dinner. Now that we have our cocktails, let's get to dinner. So, first things first, oven, 350. Make sure that's on. I went ahead and pre-sliced 2 of my chicken breasts. I'm gonna go ahead and do this last one here. So basically what you're gonna do is slice about 1-inch pieces, but do not go all the way to the bottom. Don't even go almost to the bottom, just go a little more than halfway. You're basically making little pockets in the chicken breast where we're gonna slide in our vegetables. And I love, love, love this presentation because it turns out so pretty. All the colors, the flavors, the spices, it's gonna just turn out so pretty. So I'm excited about that. And I got some very large chicken. I only got 3 breasts and they're all very large. Okay. So now we're gonna get rid of this chicken, the chicken cutting board with all of the possible bacteria. Do a quick wash. Come back to our veggies. Just need a little towel here. So we'll come back to our veggies, where if you did prep, or if you did, if you prepared your vegetables, or if you're watching this later, then you can pause this, I'm sure. But at this point, I've got my zucchini in very thin slices. I did not use a mandolin, though I have one. I couldn't find it, and I didn't have a lot of time. That's the truth. It's God's honest truth. So you're gonna chop these into half moons, and you're gonna chop all of your vegetables into half moons. So if you already have them sliced up, go ahead with the half moons. If they're already in half moons, I will, in 1 second, let you know what is next. All we're gonna do is take the half moons and basically take one of each vegetable and put it into each of those slices, each of those openings. So I actually made this a couple of weeks ago for my mom's friends Susan and Sally. We were at Susan's house, just wanted a little girls' night, and so I made this dish, and I had not made it before, but it looked so pretty. I was like, oh gosh, if it turns out like that, I'm gonna be like so impressive. And it did. So immediately I was like, I'm gonna have to for sure do that one because everyone needs this in their arsenal. It's so pretty, you guys. And I think anytime a dish is really pretty, it's that much more impressive. Not that we're trying to impress anybody, but it makes us feel good when we turn out with something nice. Uh-huh. So our special guest is Bach.
He goes, hey, Bach.
Hey, Bob.
Bach, we just did a wine tasting.
Yeah, I caught the first bit of that.
Okay.
Look good.
You wanna try it too? See what you can find on here?
Yeah, you do a tasting of it.
I'm gonna scrape for my emergency beer.
Just a taste.
That's desperate.
Alright, this is
Oh.
pretty good. Trader Joe's is good.
It's not as good, I don't think. Mm-mm. It's not my favorite.
Talk's looking right.
Hey, Lisa.
What you do on the camera, dude? You're looking good.
Bach's looking good. He's ready to go.
I'm intimidated by this setup.
Oh, don't be. Okay, so full disclaimer, we bought a special light. We bought a light. It's like this $30 big light behind the phone because all of our light is kind of dim and just comes from straight down. So it didn't work that well for TV. Anyway, we got a light. I think it helps. I do. It's important to be able to see the food.
Absolutely.
Anyway, okay, so we've got our zucchinis, red onions.
Where are you going to dinner? Bird Mall.
Who are you going with? Oh, okay. Bach's going to dinner with a friend, Bird and Bottle. I've been, it's delicious. Has anyone else been to Bird and Bottle yet? You're totally in my kitchen. We're just hanging. Lisa says, I feel like I'm in your kitchen. Because you are. Because you are. What'd you do today, Lisa? How was your work day? I want to tell you that I want to come to one of your open houses. Lisa sells real estate, and she has these like awesome football open houses. Whoa. I don't even need a house, and I want to come. Okay, so half moons on the red onion. Again, sorry I'm not prepped. Me and my friend Madison, she lives really close. I was driving home, and I see her. She was actually on my mind. I was thinking about her, and I was thinking about, you know, I'm gonna see her this weekend because we're going to see Kat and Nat, the Mom Truth Girls. Can't wait, so excited. We're going to see them on Saturday, and so I was just thinking about her, and she was just on my mind. And all of a sudden, there she goes, in her big old Toyota Sequoia, right past me. She lives very close, so it wasn't that unusual, but, so then I followed her home and was like honking in her driveway. She had no clue until she got out of the car and Jake was like yelling at her. These onions are hot. Anyway, very funny. So we ended up going in, chit-chatting, you know, the whole thing, and it was really fun. So it was worth every bit of being behind on my chopping.
smells like something here.
Whew, I'm crying. Yikes.
I gotta watch this stuff.
So,
He watches this stuff.
we have a couple iPad addicts at our house that we've kind of supported in some ways for times like this. But what do you do? Your best. Okay. I forgot the lemon. Don't forget the lemon. That is your last colorful component to the stuffed chicken. Now, we were talking about this yesterday. Jamie Bach and I were talking about this yesterday and like what I was gonna do, what I was gonna say, and things to remember. And Bach brought up a really, really good point that I'd actually never heard. But he got this from Bobby Flay, so you know it's legit.
Yeah.
When you're cooking, remember to season every layer. So basically, everything you do before you put it together, you season every layer. So that is a new approach with this because I didn't do that last time, so I am gonna do that. And I guess Bobby Flay is basically just saying, you know, the more flavor you pack in, the better it's gonna taste. Sounds good to me. So, as soon as I get done with this lemon, it's got a ton of seeds in it, which, Set Boy, sorry, that was paused. Set Boy, can you plug my phone in? It's going to die. Sorry about that. I hope it wasn't paused for too long. Okay.
Phone now, boss.
Thank you. So what I'm gonna do is grab a bowl real quick. Hold on. Okay. So here we're gonna make our spice mixture with our herbs, dill and parsley, our garlic, our lemon, olive oil, salt and pepper. Where is my garlic?
Your garlic press?
Whew. Just the garlic. I kind of move things out of the way when I do this, and then I forget where everything
I
is.
made my
Thanks.
garlic press today too.
Oh, thank you. Gosh, my boys are working hard. Clean stuff. Okay, so what did I just do? Garlic press. Can't say it enough. If you don't have it, you're more stressed out than you should be in the kitchen. And it comes with a little brush that I lose a lot.
Yeah, that thing's pretty legit. You need to tell people about how I always cook and I don't know where all that stuff is. I'm always struggling and doing something myself.
Yes. So basically what he's trying to say is that when he cooks, because he does, my husband's a very good cook. When he cooks, he will sit here and I'll watch him do things so much more difficult than he has to. Like, for instance, the garlic press. He'll take a clove of garlic, he'll unpeel it, he'll mess with it, he'll get knives out, and I'm like,
I'm not really a good cook.
what are you doing?
As much as you want, right?
Okay, he's a good cook. He doesn't want to take credit for that, but I'll say, what are you doing? Why don't you just use the garlic press? Then he's like, oh, okay. And then so I make him a believer. So anyway, all I did was I put that entire clove of garlic in here. I didn't have to peel it. I didn't have to do anything. And you just press it out and you get minced garlic. And then it comes with a little brush that helps to clean it and also dig this stuff out. But as organized as we are, I tend to misplace them. It happens. Okay, so we've got our garlic. I'm gonna use the rest of this lemon. The ingredients should be on your ingredient list, the amounts and stuff. But it is the lemon, and then you're gonna go for your olive oil. Now your herbs, salt and pepper. So we've got dill, which I just ordered an herb stripper today. from Paper Chef. So yeah, just break up the dill. As you can see, I don't typically like follow exact ingredients if I don't have to. Now baking, I think that's a different story. I know a lot of people like to have exact measurements, exact everything, but with a recipe like this, you really can't mess it up. The flavors are gonna go together. If you're a little off or a little over on something, you're gonna be okay. I mean, don't go crazy, but this is kind of one of those recipes where you can eyeball. So, we did the dill, now we're doing the parsley. Hi! I am gonna cut this parsley up. So the parsley is gonna give it that like really fresh flavor. A lot of times people are like, parsley, I don't get parsley, it doesn't taste like anything. But it just gives it a really fresh, sort of herby, fresh is the best word, flavor. So I'm gonna just do a little rough chop on this parsley. Okay, get that in there. Sir, will you grab me just salt and pepper, please?
Some what?
Salt and pepper. I'm gonna take my half moons and just put them in here. Because again, we're gonna flavor every layer. So on the recipe that I used in the past, we would just go ahead and stuff everything in there.
Using this Himalayan salt.
Yeah, thank you. But in this case, we're gonna go ahead and season the vegetables before we put them in the chicken. And then also we're going to season the chicken before we put in the vegetables. So hopefully it's just gonna be exploding with flavor. You're gonna just be a big hit tonight, the fam. It was really funny, our last cooking show that we did, the day after we had trunk or treat at my son's school. And one of the dads came up to me and said, "Hey, thanks for dinner the other night." And I was like, "Oh, really? You liked it?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was really good." And I was like, "Oh, awesome, okay." So that was kind of fun. Okay, so salt and pepper. I have this jar of Himalayan salt, Himalayan sea salt. It's got some chunks in it. Okay, there we go. So a couple pinches of that. Come over here to the chicken, a couple pinches in the chicken. Salt, pepper. I like the freshly ground. I just think it's better. Of course black is, it's not as good. Okay, salt and pepper over here. They can't see you. Bach's trying to stay out of the picture when he really wants to get in.
I like to be in the spotlight.
He likes to be in the spotlight.
No.
So how many?
No, he doesn't.
How many followers there?
Don't worry about that. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's not important. No one has to do this right now. You can always watch this tomorrow and make it tomorrow. And you'll still have all these great jokes to laugh
I just
on.
didn't know how many fans Bach had on there.
Walk has a lot of fans.
Well, he's hitting
After
every-
yesterday,
He's going to
Saturday.
dinner. That was kind of my point. Is you need to.
It's true. No, even Sarah messaged me and was like, Bach always helps with our Traeger too. I'm like, well, yeah, that's what he does.
I do.
Okay. Apparently so. Okay, so at this point, we're gonna take our half moons and just start stuffing in these slits. So if you can get a piece of everything in every pocket, that is ideal. If you can't, then just do your best. Another kind of important fun thing about this recipe is that if you have someone in your house, I would be shocked if you knew what I was talking about, who maybe doesn't like everything you put in front of them, then you can always omit something. If they don't like tomatoes, if they don't like zucchini, if they don't like red onions, you can always omit something from this recipe and do, just zucchini and tomatoes, or, just the onion, or you could always add mushrooms. It wouldn't be as Greek, but I'm just giving you options. Point is that you can sort of customize this if you've got picky eaters. Chances are you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we just go through, stuff every layer, continue until it's done. What I love about the Tasty videos are they kind of do it slow at first and then they speed it up so you can see it. I don't know about you guys, but I could watch those videos for hours. I feel like I could make anything after I watch those videos. Another hobby of mine, sitting around watching Tasty videos. Well, maybe laying in bed before I go to bed, before I go to sleep. So anyway, how's everyone today? Yay! It's exploding with flavor. It's my best friend Sarah making fun of me. That's what best friends do. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is pass this over to my assistant to finish. Actually, I don't know. You didn't see that. But what I really want to do is I want to move along with the to the yogurt sauce. Super, super easy, really quick. It's actually better if you can make it like the night before, so that garlic has time to like sit and marinate. But we're gonna make it tonight and it's still gonna be delicious because again, all those like fresh flavors, ugh, that's all it needs. Like the fresh garlic, the fresh cucumber, the dill, all that just makes it. So anyway, we'll just sit here together and finish this.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, I know it
It's
does.
very colorful.
Super colorful.
It reminds me of Greece. It reminds me of Crete.
Reminds you of Crete. What else reminds you of Crete?
Greek salads.
Mm-hmm. Blocks of feta.
Muammar Gaddafi dying.
Mm-hmm. That happened when we were there.
If
you heard that, bud.
The bomber jets flying over our beach escape as
That's
we were
true.
bombing Libya.
We were in the we were frolicking. Okay, so first of all, we don't just vacation to Greece, but
Not everybody's been there.
we got the opportunity to go with Jamie when Jamie was in the Navy, when we lived in the Pentagon. So we got to go to Crete. It was super exciting. He had some work to do, and then I came and like sort of met him on the tail end of it, the tail end of the work trip. And then we stayed for, you know, another week and vacationed. So we were frolicking in the ocean at some point, and there were these like huge bomber jets that were flying over our head to go to Libya or whatever, right?
Yeah, Libya is very close to.
They were attacking Libya?
It was when, Muammar Gaddafi's administration, basically the dictatorship in Libya fell. It was in 2011.
Okay.
He was overthrown.
So Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown, and we were there. We were there right in the middle of it. I mean, it wasn't like we weren't in danger, but we saw it happening overhead, literally. It was pretty cool. I guess if you're not a soldier.
Yeah, French right now.
Anyway, and that is where I discovered that you should never drive a stick shift vehicle overseas unless you like really know how to drive a stick shift. Like, I mean, I learned. Bach's laughing because he knows. I learned how to drive a stick shift. I kind of drove one around in Tulsa when I was 16, 17. But I did not know how to drive one up a mountain or like through in traffic, like through like a very dangerous.
With goats and chickens crossing.
It was the scariest
Yeah, this
thing.
kind of reminds me of that. We had to turn that Jeep back in. We had to go back, and they were like, "You have another 8 hours left."
We basically got to the top of this mountain, we took a picture, and we drove immediately back down because we had no business being in that Jeep. And yes, we take it back, and I'll never forget, there was this very well-behaved dog that I tried to pet, and the owner like snapped at him. Anyway, but yeah, they were like, why are you back? Like, you paid for the whole day. And we're like,
Complicating it was definitely driving on the wrong side of the road.
yeah, you drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
The roads are really small.
Yeah.
You're going uphill. I mean, it was not good.
A lot of celebrities and famous people die in those kind of accidents. When they go back to their hometowns and stuff all over the world. It takes a while to get used to that kind of driving. So,
It's not easy.
you know.
I found out, and don't ever want to do that again. That was very scary. And of course, Jamie's like, I thought you could drive a stick, and I'm like, I did too.
I was calm. I'm sure I was calm.
You're very calm, very calm. Of course, cool as a cucumber. Cool as a Greek cucumber.
Exactly. Which
But-
is what you eat a lot of over there, which I can see is in this dish.
This is zucchini.
Zucchini. Okay, that's different.
But I'm going
That's
to
very
make I'm going to put some cucumber in the yogurt dip. So
Okay, that's what it is.
yep. I was gonna say I feel like so the better story about that trip. We were living in DC at the time, but I make Jamie go to this winery. I find this winery. I'm like, there's a winery. It's really close. Like, we can just get in there and like do a little tasting or whatever. I call, make reservations for it. Super excited about it. We get there, or we get halfway there, and we start getting really scared because we are driving up in the most remote area. Like, they were all houses. It was just very unfamiliar, all of it. We get there, and this American girl opens the door, and she's like, oh, hey guys, what's going on? And we're like, we were afraid we were gonna die. But like, this cab driver finally dropped us off after seemingly being lost for a while. And he finally like finds the place, drops us off, and we are just basically knocking on someone's front door in Greece. It was pretty scary. I was like, we're definitely gonna die. But we didn't. This American girl comes to the door and she's like, oh, hey guys, what's going on? And I'm like, well, we're having a wine tasting. And she's like, oh, awesome. I didn't know you guys were American. And anyway, it turns out she lived in DC. Her family's from there, and they were running this winery, and that she was trying to kind of get it up and running, and that was gonna be sort of one of their family projects. And it was very, very cool. So we spent an entire day at this winery, getting to know her, hanging out with her. She ended up taking us out that night. It was really fun. And it was the last night. So of course we were thinking, chill day, we'll get to the airport, we'll be totally rested.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Hangover
We
city.
had at least 2 bottles of wine each, because all she did was feed us wine and food all day. Here, try this. Oh, this one's good. Or, oh, we're making this one on reserve. And Jamie and I were just like, whatever, we'll just drink it. And then she takes us out, we go to dinner. It was great. Because of course she just knew everything about the city, and she took us to this really cool jewelry store where I got some fun earrings. Because at that point, you know who was a big old sucker with all that wine. It was great. I want to go back. Okay, so we're done with the chicken. All right, bye. Have fun at dinner.
There goes the special guest.
Fox headed to dinner. I guess he just is gonna have this tonight. That's okay. I
Is that
forgive
real
him.
wine? Whoa, dude.
Oh, that's from the. Oh
Jake.
no, it's on the couch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so I went to Sonic to be a nice mommy.
You're eating a lime?
Went to Sonic before I picked up the boys for school. I got a big old cherry limeade because I wanted it, but I also wanted to share. So Jake just took it in there and spilled it all over the couch. Yay! So that's,
Don't worry, I cleaned it.
so Dad got it, but it's all over, like I can see it on the couch cushion.
Oh, I cleaned it. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Oh, it's super clean.
Jamie?
Well,
I can see that it's wet.
It just needs to dry for a second. Yeah.
Dry, why don't you take a
With
towel?
me,
Maybe you just take a towel over there? Sorry, I really apologize. I'm telling you, I already said this from day one. possibly gonna have kids in here, screaming kids, whatever. Home conversations, like, sorry. I'm sure you guys have never had cherry limeade spilled all over your couch. Well, the rule is no food out of the kitchen. Then you go get Sonic and forget about it, and you have a live cooking show and whatever. What do you do? Okay, so did you see what I just did? I took that little marinade that we put over the vegetables and drizzled it on top. Okay, so that is where your flavor is. You've got your garlic, your dill, your parsley, you've got salt and pepper, the olive oil, of course, that lemon. So all these flavors are going on now. And they're layered. Remember, we're flavoring every layer. So what I'm gonna do now is just grate a little bit of cheese to go on the top. So it just calls for a little mozzarella and a little feta. And honestly, this, I thought about like, do you really need it as far as the mozzarella goes? But when I made it last time, it just gave it like a little bit of creaminess. It's not like coated with the mozzarella like a lasagna, so I don't think you have that guilt. But it's nice to have like a little bit of creaminess and just like a different texture to go with it. And of course, some of it browns and looks really pretty on top, and so definitely worth it. I would say go for the mozzarella because you don't need much. So do the little mozzarella. We'll just sprinkle on top. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. You don't even really need that much, but I love mozzarella. I love cheese. It's my favorite.
Yeah, that beer's good.
Ooh, okay, Saturday Siren beer.
Yeah.
Got to try the new beer from Trader Joe's too today. Saturday Siren. Jamie says it's good.
It's good.
I believe him. Okay, so chances are if you got your feta, you got crumbled, and that's fine. Since using Pampered Chef products, you just saw me use the mandolin. This is amazing, awesome, awesome product. It's a microplane blade, so very, very sharp, very reliable machine, dish wash machine, washable, and very sharp. It has a TP mode like this, where you saw me just right onto a mat, and then it also can be used like this if you want to put it over a bowl, and it comes with a holder as well. Hey sister. So very versatile, love these. I have two. I have the small grate. I guess that's the larger one, and then I have the very small one for like Parmesan cheeses and stuff. So basically hard cheese, soft cheese, love them. So anyhow, I was talking about the feta cheese and the mozzarella. So since using these products, I have not bought store-bought grated cheeses or crumbled cheeses. And the reason is that in some factories, I'm not saying all, but in some factories, most factories, if it's a melty cheese like cheddar, mozzarella, something like that, they have to add some sort of a component when packaging to keep the cheese from melting together or sticking together and separating, or they have to keep it separated. And what that usually is something like sawdust. It's very strange. It's not enough to hurt you, I hope, but it's just what they use to keep the cheese separated. So ever since I kind of found out about that and started using Pampered Chef products and love the way that these work, they're so easy and just throw them in the dishwasher, I just don't buy any pre-shredded cheeses. And that goes the same with feta. I just say if you can, always go for the block. It's just one more tiny component that could make a difference at some point. I don't know. But I also believe that it tastes better. I think that the mozzarella melts better when it doesn't have that on it. I mean, there's there are studies shown, or or people have done articles about this. It's not anything new, but I certainly did not know that until a friend of mine worked for Kraft. Not to throw Kraft under the bus, but hey, you got to do what you got to do, and I choose not to. I choose not to eat sawdust. But I did it for a long time, let me tell you. All right, so we've got our crumbled feta, mozzarella. I'm gonna hit it with some more herbs. So you've got your dill and your parsley. So I'm gonna hit it with more of both of those, just to make sure that stuff gets on top. It's also prettier like that, of course. Who else here? My sister's here. My mom's here. Heather's here. Long time no see, Heather. And like I said, if you did not have time to make this tonight, I'm going to save it this time. Last time, I couldn't figure it out. I posted it, and then it was, after 24 hours, it was gone forever. And I felt like, wow, I'm really lacking. I mean, these millennials, like, they got me. Finally, they got me. I thought, no, I'm cool, I'm hip, I can still do everything they can do. Until I tried to be like a social media star. Kidding, I'm not a social media star. But until I tried to like do something on social media and was like, really? Like something other than just post pictures of my kids and, my plates. I mean, I was like, okay, let's do this video. It's so easy. You just push this button, right? Okay, there's more to it. I did a post earlier today that I totally botched. I was trying to do the spaces and totally botched it. It looks weird, like it's got all these weird spaces in it and stuff because I didn't do it right clearly. And was like, I need a millennial, hiring millennial intern ASAP, which I would totally take, but intern means free, so. Okay, so that goes in the oven for 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. Keep an eye on it. If the cheese starts getting too brown, just take it out. I was trying to remember if I have to, no, you don't have to cover it, sorry. I just skimmed over this recipe. I just made it, so, but I did just skim over it before we started. Like I said, I was chatting with Madison, she's just too fun. But anyway, I also have made this before. It's very easy. It's so simple. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the yogurt dip. Some people call it tzatziki. My dad calls it something totally different. We're Lebanese, and Lebanese and Greece or Lebanon and Greece are very close to each other. They have very similar food choices, or very similar dishes that they've made. I actually have a book on Lebanese cooking, and it was written in the 50s, and so funny and cool. And I looked through there to see if they had a tzatziki recipe, which they didn't, but they did mention it. And anyway, so I'm basically just gonna make it the way I know how, which is just yogurt, dill, lemon, garlic, red onion. If your kids will eat it, if not, leave it out. It's no big deal, but I'm gonna just do some very, very, very finely chopped red onion. Okay. So the biggest tip with this is that you wanna go ahead and grill that? I was gonna grill that.
I was gonna cut it.
Yeah, get the grill pan out. Get the grill pan out, and then let's grill that. We're gonna do some grilled pita for you. Not in there?
Maybe in a year. It's not in there.
It's not?
I can do it on that. Just throw it in the oven.
Quickly. wanted to use my grill pan to grill the pita bread. Anytime I can grill bread or anything, I do it on my grill pan. It's just better. So yes, as thinly as you can go, you can use a mandolin, like I said. Honey, honey, you're gonna scratch that pan. And why don't you just go get the grill pan? I think it's outside.
Cool.
Huh?
Not scratch.
Okay. So as thin as you can go. I'm gonna try and use this whole thing. I'm sure if a chef was watching, he would just be cringing. What is that girl doing? Well, not everyone has time for culinary school. Moms definitely don't get to go to culinary school before they have kids. They gotta figure it out. Okay. The thinner the better, so even if you don't get a whole slice, it's no big deal.
What, are you still on that same glass of wine?
I am.
Wow. Just don't have time.
Well,
I had mine. It's very good. I like it.
I'm gonna take a sip here in a minute. I'm really waiting to savor it with this chicken. Okay. Oh man, that was kind of wore me out. Okay, so just rough chop of this. Just to sort of get those cucumber flavors out. Sometimes you can do it in ribbons, and that's like a really pretty presentation, but a little harder to eat for little ones. My little ones may not even touch this. That's always a possibility. But then they surprise you and you make something and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so good. Like the last meal I made, the chicken pot pie. My 4-year-old, who doesn't eat much, loved it, loved it. Oh, that just meant the world to me because I can't ever get him to eat anything. Just like this morning, I made turkey sausage and he didn't want turkey sausage. So I think he had a granola bar or something and maybe like an applesauce package and he was still hungry. Well, I'm gonna put this in another bowl, 1 second. And I did not say well. I did not say well. I said, say, get your shoes on, let's go to school. That's how it really went down. Oh my God, when you don't eat breakfast, you're hungry. And say what I mean when I say eat your breakfast. Mom life. Mom life. Okay. So we're gonna go all the yogurt. We'll probably end up putting it back in there to save, but it needs room. It needs room to mix. Alright, so we got all those cucumbers. We're gonna do some lemon. I would give it 3/4 of a lemon. I'm sorry, a 1/4 of a lemon. I just did the math backwards in my head. Wow. Okay, so we've got the lemon here. Got a little lemon zester, squeezer, juicer. I must be tired. Get all that lemon out. We're going for more garlic. So back to your clove and your garlic press. Now you can make this really garlicky. If you were at my dad's house, it would be so garlicky, it would be like almost hot spicy. That's how much garlic, how much he loves garlic and how much he uses. And if you don't have enough, if like say if I made it and I brought it to his house and I didn't have enough garlic, immediately would be like, oh God, there's not enough garlic in here, and just grab the garlic. Oh, let me help you out here. Yeah, you really missed the mark on that. Not enough
Who's
garlic.
kissing on you at school, man?
Guarantee that's what he would do.
Who was kissing on you?
But he probably makes it the best out of everyone in our family, so what do? He's picky. He's a Lebanese man. They're fiery, they're picky. Very much a lot like a Lebanese girl. Oh, hi. So, salt and pepper. We had the lemon, the cucumber, the garlic, salt and pepper. You can add a touch of white wine vinegar, but I'm not because of the lemon. So I got Greek yogurt from Trader Joe's. This is plain Greek whole milk. Whole milk. I prefer it. What's wrong, buddy? Ooh, Daddy? Oh no, Daddy's messing up over here. What did Daddy do to you? What happened? Oh no, don't touch the light. So anyhow, now you've got a creamy, cool tzatziki sauce ready to go for your chicken, or just as a side.
Keep up there.
Give that a little taste. It's good. Oh, very good. A lot of flavors. Very salty.
More banana.
What's wrong, buddy?
He wants a banana.
Oh, here.
He's hungry.
I forgot to mention that I made a little hummus plate. So this is Trader Joe's hummus. I know, I should be working for Trader Joe's probably. It's just their regular hummus dip. It is so good, you guys, so good. So I made hummus, carrots, some celery. Very unlikely that they're gonna eat celery or carrots, but Jamie and I have been noshing on it already. So, there's that.
You know what you can do on that too is put a little sriracha across the top of that hummus, a spice lover.
True. My husband, as a lot of husbands, love sriracha. I have 1 minute remaining. So I did not actually know that this will turn off. So I'm gonna turn it back on. It will just be in 2 parts. Good to know for future though. This is delicious. If you like yogurt sauce, be right back. Okay, next item I want to talk about. When I posted about tonight's recipe and talked about sides, I mentioned the hummus, I mentioned the yogurt sauce, I mentioned frozen rice. Now this is the bag of frozen rice. It comes in a box. I had to throw it away because overnight we left the freezer partially open and things started to thaw. So I had to break a bunch of boxes down, and anyway, it's okay though, we saved the rice. It's frozen rice from Trader Joe's. It's just brown rice. You, I think, puncture it once, stick it in the microwave for 90 seconds, and it is fantastic. So, so, so good.